Hello, thank you so much for joining us on World of Art. Every Sunday we bring you experts in the arts sector, and together we explore the advantages, the importance of art in our everyday lives. My name is Miriam Usman. This program is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shillong, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, grand donor and chairman of council, Yemisi Shillong Museum of Art, and also the grand patron, SNA Ogun State Chapter. Now, usually we bring you this guest and we explore their works and also explore their part, the role they play in ensuring that our art in Nigeria keeps being productive. And today joining me on the program, I have a female guest. She is an embodiment of art, and her professor says she is an embroiderer. Well, what's really about embroidery art? That's what we're going to be looking at today. She also doubles as a painter. Joining me on the program today is Adedoyin Adelani. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Mariam.
Good afternoon. Someone just mentioned that our set is looking really beautiful, and I'd like to give the accolades to your beautiful artworks.
Thank
we
you
have
so
here looking really, really nice, amazing. So I want you to walk your stories, because usually we like artists telling their stories. You might just be inspiring someone watching right now, and usually I think it's a time for artists to have this time to think about the journey so far in this profession. So let's talk about how it started for you.
Art has always been in my blood, even though I would say I'm the only artist or the first female artist in my family, in my village family. I'm actually married to Adelani. So as a child, I used to draw. I draw a lot, copying from my brother growing up. But unfortunately, there was no arts in my secondary school years. No art teacher, nothing to put me, no one to put me through the process and all. I had to drop art, being enthusiastic to be an artist. So along the line, I ventured into communication. I went to school to study mass communication. During my journey as a mass communicator student, I met several people on the campus, in which I came across a sister, like a blood sister to me now anyway, who introduced me to art departments. So there was a day we were talking, and she was like, she wanted to be a communicator. Unfortunately, she was given art. And I'm like, I wanted to be an artist.
And now I'm in communication.
I found myself in communication, you understand?
Yeah.
So during that time, I would go to the department, help out with the assignments and all. And later on, she introduced me to the department HOD, who is now late. May so rest in peace. So the man was like, if you can draw this much, what are you doing in mass comm? And I said, I would love to be an artist still. So he gave me admission free without jam and all.
Before you continue with your story, what went wrong? Why didn't you pick art for your tertiary institution?
Like I said, there was no art teacher in my secondary school.
Oh.
And during that time, private schools were minimal, and public schools, there was no, even I would say, I don't even know there was a profession called artist, you understand? So I really have
the interest
in drawing, and I draw for fun and all that. So when the man gave me the admission, I was already in my third year in mass communication. It was a part-time course I was running then. So he gave me the admission, and I felt, well, I think I belong here. So I started running the two courses together, part-time mass communication and full-time art. So on weekends, I go for my mass communication.
I'm trying to imagine it. I know it's a lot.
It was very hectic, I would say. It was very, very hectic. But as God will have it, I finished my communication with a lower credits and focused on my art, and I finished with upper credits.
Wow.
Again, because it was the interest I have as a child and all that, and my passion to grow in my career. So after I did mass comm, after I finished arts, I would say I didn't pursue it for a long time. But after 5 years, I felt that was national diploma anyway. So after 5 years, I felt art is still calling me. I think I'm missing something, though I do murals, I do art commissions and all that, but I just need a certificate, and I needed to be better at it, so I had to go back. I went back to school for my HND with my 2 kids, So I was running the program, still taking care of my
You're
kids.
Such an inspiration.
So, and as God will have it, I came out the second best in my department still. And we are both female. And since then I've been practicing. So talking about the hats that make your studio to be this beautiful today.
We will come to that. We will come to that.
Okay.
But I still want you to lay emphasis on how you were able to survive that. Now, from your story, you're telling us that it can never be too late to follow your passion.
Of course. It can never and will never be too late to follow your passion. I used to tell my children when they feel down, that they are not getting it right and all, that their mates are ahead of them. I used to tell them, it took me 20 years to achieve what I achieved. While my mates are already out of school, I was still pursuing my career. And I would say, I'm not against education or anything, and I'm not against you running to get your career at an early stage. But I would rather say it is very important for you to discover yourself, your strengths, before you venture into any career. Like the parents of nowadays, the way they train their kids, I want her out of school by 16, I want her to graduate by 18 and all that. They were not asking the child, are you ready for that? You understand? So I didn't see anybody who asked me that. I pushed myself. You understand? I pushed myself, and I'm like, being the first male in the family, I need to get there. I need to make my family proud. You understand? Because I will say my father doesn't even believe in girl child education like that. Because growing up, we were told to always be in the kitchen. Kitchen is your house. So what are you doing in the sitting room watching TV or playing? Kitchen is your house. I remember when I went to my dad and I gained admission for hats. He was like, you are not done with mass comm, you want to do hats.
Yeah.
How?
Felt really funny.
Exactly. So I'm like, Daddy, it's my passion, I want to do it. He said, well, go ahead. So when I put myself through it, and thank God today, I'm the coordinator for Female Artists Association, Southwest.
Wow.
Female Artists Association of Nigeria, and a member of the Society of Nigerian Artists too. So being the coordinator, it's give me the limelight I've always been craving. Even though I don't like being a leader, like I always run. Exactly, I don't like being in the front. And that is one reason I'm not using my husband's name to sign my works. I use my father's name. Because being the only female artist and the only artist in their family, I signed with my dad's name. So it makes people wonder, who is Bello? Who is Bello? So when they hear Adelanyi, it doesn't come to them that it could be a woman doing the work. So even during my exhibitions, I'll be there as a stranger, and when I see somebody in front of my work, and I'll be like, what do you say about the work? It's okay, the artist is good and all that. So after the long conversation, I'll now be, I'm the artist.
I know you must be really proud in conversations like that.
Yes, of course. There was a day, I was having an exhibition last year. A lady I didn't know came. She said she saw the flyer on social media, and she came for the exhibition. And she was like, can I see your hand? So I just stretched out my hand, and
like this same hand is doing this magic.
Yeah, so she was like, I was just looking for the hand that did all this.
Oh my God.
You understand? Then I bursted into cry. Do you know why I cried? Because I remember the journey so far. How I started embroidery, how the needles would pierce my hand, how I was almost giving up, I can't do this. Because it was a lecturer that pushed me into embroidery. It's late also, may so rest in peace. So then he felt, I know you're strong, you can do better. He was giving the guys murals to do, canvas work to do, but he said, no, go and look for something special that we've not seen in our department.
Something unique.
Exactly. It took me like a month for him to approve my projects. So when I started, my finger was swollen, and I was like, I'm not sure I can do this. But the man said, you will. Especially my supervisor was like, you will, you can do it. And I finished the project like after 2 months. And as God will have it, I've improved in my crafts so far.
Well, like I said before, our guest on the program today is such an inspiration, not just to women, but to everyone who believe that they can do something. And we've got a lot of our artwork here speaking for her. And I trust that people watching right now are getting inspired by your story. Quite an amazing one. Now let's talk about the part of art you decided to explore, which is, like you mentioned earlier, a unique part of art, you know. We don't really get to see a lot of embroiderer in the society. So let's talk about it. I think it's a beautiful part of art. I told you before now that if I'm going to, no offense to every other part, but if I'm going to explore like in practice, I'm definitely going to explore embroidery. It's really beautiful. Aside just seeing it in pictures, the fact that it's made of threads and all of that, it's a lot of imagination that I would want to be part of it. So tell us how this is done.
How will I start? Embroidery is a very, very technical method of art. It takes a lot of time to create. Apart from the fact that you have to think of your reference, of the ideas you have to produce, you have to think of the thread you're using, the colors of thread, how it's going to resonate with the theme of your work.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this work. You have an exact explanation for that. You played with colors here.
Yes. I'm a colorist when it comes to painting. I like colors a lot, especially green and purple, yellow, and all that. And when I'm creating my art, I look at the expression of my model. You understand? Or better still, I might be walking on the street and I see somebody's in a kind of mood. You understand? And I feel like there's something about this mood this person is exhibiting. It may be a sad one, it may be as a go-lucky person, I prefer happy moods and all. But sometimes my past came to me, my childhood and all, and I feel like, well, even this sad mood is not bad. And it's telling a story about something. Because every of my art talks about me, generally, you understand? So this hat here, I titled it Self-Doubts. Self-Doubts. And why? This is the second, as in the series 2 of Self-Doubts. I did self-love and I did self-doubts. So this is the series 2 of it. So why did I title it self-doubts and the colors I use? You will see the girl. She's looking so radiant and her dress, her hair, all the exactly in it. But I choose to call it self-doubt because the girl, her expression speaks volume. She was looking at something and imagining she is the one in that position. Assuming I have the other one, you would have understand where I'm going. The self-love I did was even far different. The girl wasn't using any beading. Her clothes was looking tattered and all. But she was so confident in herself that I'm still beautiful no matter what. You understand?
All right, let's go on this break, and when we return, the program continues. Don't forget, you can call us and ask our guest question on the program. Stay with us. Good to know you're there. We're still discussing our guest's career so far in the world of art, and joining us, still with us on the program, is Adedoyin Adelani Bello, who is a painter and an embroiderer. Thank you for staying with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you were taking us through this self-doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, the girl was tattered looking and all, but she was still confident in herself.